Okay, for perhaps my favorite informational command, I'm going to just draw a couple of lines here. The command is list, and this is going back to like old school AutoCAD from when I learned it, where there was zero icons for the most part. Everything looked like graph paper, and it was a lot of like looking things up to figure out what they were. So, my one of my favorite things to provide information. Sometimes we need to know the distance of a line, the angle of something, the diameter of a circle, the radius of a curve. Anytime we're looking for information, we want to list that information. And I can either select what I want to find out about first, and the hotkey is letter I, or I'm sorry, LI spacebar, and you get a pop-up menu like this. When you're done with it, you just hit escape and it goes away. So I can select first LI space, or I can type in LI space, select, and right click. Okay. So in this case, it tells me that this is at a length of 46.57 and the angle is 0. These are typically the two things that I'm looking for. Um, would be the length and the angle. Okay. There's all this other stuff that we don't even need to get into. There's relative distance from the actual 0, 0 origin, which is down here, but we don't really care about any of that. Okay. So length and angle. 0 degrees tells me that it is parallel to the x-axis. Okay. LI spacebar. Right click. That tells me that's a length of 28.98 and an angle of 45. I got totally lucky on that my estimation of a 45-degree angle was that good, right? Um, which it really was. That's crazy. In this case, my angle is 22. Man, I was shooting for half a 45, so 22.5 is half a 45. That was really close too. Again, select LI spacebar. Tells me the length is 30.28 at 90 degrees. Repeat list. So once you're using it, you can just repeat it. This tells me that I have a radius of 11.1 or 11.74. It does not tell me the diameter, which sometimes I thought it did, but I'm not seeing it. Circumference. But here's something that's really interesting down here. Area. Okay, and this is super handy, and this is where, again, like LI spacebar, if I check that out, LI spacebar, I'll see the same thing. I'll see a length. That's the arc length. I'll see a radius. So that's all good. In architecture, where I use this quite often, if AutoCAD won't, uh, come on, wake up, AutoCAD. There we go. Where I use this quite a bit in architecture is when I'm building a structure and I need to find out square footage. If I'm working in a square footage requirement, it tells me that the area is 1,759.57. In this case, I'm using the metric system, so this would be millimeters squared. Also tells me the perimeter. So, but if I was in architecture, like in this, if I were to go ahead and do a list on a house, let's say that's completely filled in, these are not individual. This right here, well, I'll just go ahead and make a copy of it, use something else we just learned. If I were to take this and join it, I can now click this and say LI spacebar. This is set up in architectural units, so it tells me that right here, my house is 648.5 square feet, and my maximum in this project was 650. So I made it within my square footage. Okay, so that's list. LI spacebar gives you everything that you ever needed to know about anything on a drawing.